Prophet ﷺ was told by Allah Ta'ala, وَمَا رَمَيْتَ إِذْ رَمَيْتُ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ رَمَى. Ya Muhammad, before the war of Badr began, when you picked up the dirt, the sand, and you throw it, and it hit the kuffar in the eyes, you didn't throw when you threw, but Allah threw. It's the meaning. Not that you become Allah, Allah becomes you. So in regards to these people, they're ai becoming the eyes of Allah. Wallahi, that's not true. Because they make shirkun billah. Becoming the ears of Allah, that's not true. Becoming the tongues of Allah is not permissible to say. It's not permissible. Even if you meant he's speaking on behalf of Allah, you can't say that. Because Allah Ta'ala didn't establish that he had a tongue. So we don't go there. And we have to be careful about these types of statements, ikhwani, with the people of the Sunnah. You hear a person of the Sunnah saying, when Allah comes knocking at your door. What are you talking about? It's not from the religion of Islam. We describe Allah Ta'ala in the way that he described himself, and the way that the Prophet ﷺ described Allah Azza wa Jal. There's a coffee in America, I never saw that coffee here, called Maxwell House. That coffee, they have the slogan, good to the last drop. Someone from America wrote an email like that with all of these famous statements. Allah is like Maxwell House coffee, good to the last drop. The telephone company, their slogan is, never fails. Allah is like this telephone company. He never fails you. Allah like a telephone company? That's not permissible. It's not permissible. لَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. No one is like him. No one is like Allah Azza wa Jalla. So the point here, ikhwani, is they don't speak on behalf of Allah. They don't see on behalf. They don't see the way that Allah would have an individual on the truth to see. And they definitely don't hear the way that the one who is a muttaqi from the awliya of Allah. So they're not created from the nur of Allah. And they don't have this position. Ali is not created from the nur of Allah. Another issue, and a lot can be said, is the issue of the Quran. The Quran, ikhwani, is the kalam of Allah Ta'ala. It's the kalam of Allah. Allah spoke the Quran like he spoke the Injil and the Torah in a way that befits his majesty. And it's not all of his kalam, subhanahu wa ta'ala. From him the Quran began, to him the Quran is going to return. It's going to come a day on this ummah in which they won't remain in this dunya. One ayat of the Quran. The people are not going to remember Yasin. The people are not going to know Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. They're not going to know Qul huwallahu ahad, Taha. And the only people who will remain from the Muslims at that time will be an old man and an old woman. All they say is La ilaha illallah. And they say, we found our fathers saying that, so we said it. That's an authentic hadith. No salah, no zakat, no hajj, no Quran. But they say La ilaha illallah. And they'll go to Jannah. And they'll go to Jannah. That's the condition of the people. Before Yawm al-Qiyamah, the last people who are on the earth are the worst of Allah's creation. The people won't even say Allah, Allah. So that's their condition. The point is, the Quran began with Allah and is going to return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In regard to Ahl-Tashayya, that's what Ahl-Sunnah believe. That when you read the Quran, you're reading the kalam of Allah. As Allah Ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, وَإِنْ أَحَدٌ مِّنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ اسْتَجَارَكَ فَجِّرْهُ حَتَّى يَسْمَعَ كَلَامَ اللَّهِ. If one of the non-Muslims, they come to seek your assistance, Ya Abdullah, Ya Rasulullah, they come to seek you to protect them, then give them protection. Allow them to come so that he can hear the kalam of Allah. So when you read it to him, Allah said this, Allah said that. It's the kalam of Allah. The kalam of Allah. That's what we believe. Whether you read it, whether you write it down, it's the kalam of Allah Azza wa Jalla. And other than that, from what we believe, the kalam of Allah, the words of Allah, the kalimat of Allah, eternal. No one knows the infinite number, and other than that. From those people, they believe that the kalam of Allah, this Quran, is incomplete. Incomplete. It's incomplete. The kalam of Allah, that is the total kalam of Allah, the Quran, is with the Imam who's been hiding away in the cave for quite some time. And when he comes back, he's going to bring back the rest of the Quran. There's the Quran of Fatima. when Jibril salawatullahi wasalamu alayhi, according to what they believe, would bring the Quran to Rasulullah sallallahu as a mistake, supposed to give it to Ali. Fatima was hiding somewhere under the bed, and she was writing other things. So their Quran is 2/3 of this Quran. That is kufrun billah. The ulama from the Tashayr, they are kuffar. Allah Ta'ala mentions to us in so many ayahs of the Quran about the Quran, لا يأتيه الباطل بين يديه ولا من خلفه. No falsehood can come to this Quran. Not in front of it or not behind it. No one is going to be able to produce some trick like that to send the Muslims away. Why do the Muslims get all upset and excited and send these emails about the Furqan that's in America? No one who knows his religion is afraid of such an attempt by kuffar. Allah Ta'ala mentioned to us in the Quran, وَلَوْ كَانَ مِنْ عِنْدِ غَيْرِ اللَّهِ لَوَجَدُوا فِي اخْتِلَافٍ كَثِيرًا. If this Quran was from other than Allah, there would have been a lot of ikhtilaf. A lot of ikhtilaf. When they say that the Imam has some of the Quran and they have some of the Quran, we have some of the Quran, that's ikhtilaf. The companions, radiallahu anhum, had ijma'. For the one who's sitting there and says, yeah, but what about the beginning of Islam when there were different recitations and different Qur'ans around the Muslim empire, and there was fitna because of the way they were reading different ayat and so forth and so on. The companions had ijma', that this was the Qur'an that's going to serve as the main Qur'an that the Muslim Ummah will use. As a result of that, this Qur'an is dalil. This is dalil. Yes, there are other authentic recitations that may not be in this Quran. Certain words that get changed that are authentic, you can read it like that. It's not in here. But there's ijma', consensus from the companions radiallahu anhum that this is the way. So in regards to the kalam of Allah, which is part and parcel your iman billahi ta'ala, those people believe that the Quran is incomplete. Before I forget, Ikhwani, something that came to my mind just now, passing, and that is Shaykh al-Islam at-Thani, كما يقال, Ibn al-Qayyim rahimahullah ta'ala wrote some of the similarities between the people of at-Tashayr and the Yahud. And they are many. The way they change the kalam of Allah, يحرفون كلام الله. They change it. يحرفون كلام الله. They always change the kalam, making claims. What they said about Allah. The Shia have something in regards to their iman billah, what they believe, their Aqeedah called al-Bada'. They believe that Allah Ta'ala doesn't know what's going to happen until it happens. And He changes His mind. He makes a decision at this particular point. He can forget. He can make a mistake. This is what they believe. And that's why it's important, Ikhwani, that we come to learn about the Iman bil-Qadr. Al-Imanu bil-Qadr. Now, you don't have to know all of the details. You don't have to know about the Kitaba and Al-Ilm and the Mashi'a. You don't have to know about the Khalq. You don't have to know about that. It's enough for you to say, I believe in the Qadr. Because those scholars in the past, starting with Abdullah ibn Abbas, he said that knowledge of the Qadr is the secret of Allah. No one knows all of the details. No Nabi and no angel knows all of the details. فَمَنْ أَنْتَ? I'm going to reject al-Imam al-Qadr because it doesn't make sense to me. The point is, part of our Imam al-Qadr is that we believe that every single thing is already written in the Lawh al-Mahfuz. Already. The Muslims said during the time of the companions when they used to go to jihad, and the munafiqeen used to try to make them afraid, you're going to get killed, you're going to get killed. Your wife's going to become an orphan. Someone's going to marry your wife, they're going to get your wealth. Those companions didn't become faint-hearted. They would say to those people, as Allah commanded them, قُلْ لَنْ يُصِيبَنَا إِلَّا مَا كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَنَا. Nothing's going to hit us except what Allah already wrote for us. My death is already determined. Your death, your money, already determined. What are you worrying about it for? That doesn't mean that you get in the car and you don't know how to drive and you just say the qadr and you just drive the car without a seatbelt. Doesn't mean that. You have to take the precautions. But the point is, everything is with the qadr. Inna kulla shay'in khalaqnahu biqadrin. Everything has been created by the qadr, in the book. Everything. So how is it possible that a person who believes in Allah Azza wa Jal doesn't know that you're sitting here is predetermined? You're leaving from here predetermined. They don't believe that. They believe that you're coming here came as a result of Allah deciding today, when you decided to come. That's kufrun billah. And that ilah, who's like that, he's ignorant. And he doesn't deserve to be worshipped. He's ignorant. Just like the one who, he doesn't know where his Lord is. Is his Lord in the Usamah, over the Arsh? Is his Lord in his pocket? Is his Lord under this property, running around in the ear of a rat? Because he's everywhere according to the individual.